I drive a taxi for the dead, delivering souls to the underworld. Most drivers drop people off at home. I drop them off at the gates of the underworld. They say there's life, and there's death. But no one talks about the road in between. That's where I drive. Every night, my taxi ferries the ones who never made it home. And sometimes, the ones who don't know they're gone.
Tell them the truth, darling. You don't just drive them. You save them.
Sometimes. My name's not important. People call me the Spirit Driver. Spirit Driver, Chapter 1, The Girl No One Knows. My neighbors think I'm some kind of vampire. Not the cool kind. More the mysterious girl who never shows her face in daylight. But somehow affords an apartment in this exclusive neighborhood. In the quiet block where I live, my neighbors have a hobby. Me. I know what they whisper when they lean over balcony railings. Or pause with grocery bags in hand. The curtains across the street twitch when my garage door groans open. Mrs. Lou pretends to water her plants. Though she's been out there for 20 minutes already. And her poor plants have drowned by now. The couple on the second floor balcony lean closer. Their whispers just loud enough for me to catch fragments. Never seen her in daylight. What kind of job only starts after dark? Must be someone's mistress, or worse. To be fair, their curiosity makes sense. They've only seen me once during normal human hours. The day I moved in. A young woman hauling boxes with more scowls than smiles. Dragging a strange old-timey taxi into the garage. Since then, I've just been shadows behind drawn curtains. And in this upscale neighborhood full of nosy, bored housewives. My taxi and my schedule make perfect gossip fuel. To them, I'm a riddle. The girl who never shows her face in daylight. Unwelcome. To me? The imagination of these mortals is nothing short of amusing. Truth is, they're not entirely wrong. I'm not alive. Not dead either. Just stuck in between. Which means I need nice things to remind myself I'm still living. Or something close to it. A leather sofa worth 3 months' salary? Mine. A designer vanity covered in unopened perfume bottles? Also mine. A closet full of silk robes and jewelry I'll never wear outside this apartment? Guilty. To quench my vanity, my apartment looks luxurious. Borderline what some would call tacky. Even with towers of noodle boxes, curry cartons, and Louis in containers colonizing my kitchen counter. $100 handbag dangles from a chair. Next to a stack of grease-stained chopsticks. I can buy luxury. But cooking or cleaning? Not a chance. So yeah, I live like a queen. And have the habits of a broke student. And somehow, that bothers the people peeking through their blinds. More than it bothers me. It's the price of survival in a snobbish neighborhood, I guess. At dusk, I shuffle out in a red leather jacket. Hair tied up messily. Slurping down a takeout cup of coffee strong enough to wake the dead. Pun intended. And a box of whatever noodles I didn't finish last night. I can feel their eyes on me from the apartments above. As they watch me tug the taxi. A hulking, old-fashioned beast with headlights. That glowed faint green, out of the garage. Its black lacquered frame gleams under the street light. The car looks like it belongs in another century. Boxy. Heavy. Lantern-style headlights that don't glow yellow, but green. The engine rumbles low. Deeper than any mortal car should. Inside, it smells faintly of incense, steel, and something else. Something that sticks in your bones. The back seat is upholstered in cracked leather, scarred by stains only I can see. Salt streaks where a drowned ghost once slumped. Black ash where a burned soul sat smoldering. A smear of blood that reappears no matter how many times I scrub. I grumble as I slide into the driver's seat. Disgusting. I just cleaned this. Spirit Driver, Chapter 2, The Calm Voice. The taxi's lantern headlights blink awake. Casting pale green light across the pavement. My neighbors probably think it's some kind of aftermarket trick. If only. I slide into the seat, shoving last night's takeout box onto the passenger floor. The upholstery groans under me, like it resents being dragged out of the underworld every night. The calm crackles alive with static, right on cue.
Well, hello, darling. Already complaining? We haven't even picked up tonight's cargo.
It's not cargo. It's stains. And you're not the one scrubbing drowned slime off upholstery at dawn. He laughed, low and warm, like a cat toying with its meal.
I pay good money to see you with a sponge and gloves. So glamorous, our spirit driver.
You can shove your glamour. I shifted the gear, the taxi growling awake. Besides, shouldn't you demons be off tormenting bankers? Or ruining love lives instead of harassing me?
Oh, I multitask, he said lightly. Besides, your company is infinitely better. You make such entertaining noises when you're annoyed.
I rolled my eyes. But I couldn't stop the corner of my mouth from twitching and shoved the key in harder than necessary. You're louder than my engine. And I bet you say that to all the girls. A rich chuckle envelopes me. Then, softer.
No, just you.
I snorted, heat rising to my cheeks despite myself. Oh yeah? Then give me your real name. Stop using that fake one. I push my luck. Despite knowing I am venturing into dangerous territories. Demon names are powerful. And also most vulnerable points for a demon. They very rarely give out their true names.
It's the name I gave you.
He replied, amused.
Isn't that enough?
That's the thing about him. Since my first night as spirit driver, his voice has been there. Warm and teasing. Sometimes helpful. Often infuriating. He's never shown me a face. Never told me who he really is. But every night we talk. And sometimes it feels like he knows me better than I know myself. I hate that. You're insufferable. He chuckled low. Warm enough to curl around my spine.
Ouch. Straight to the heart.
I unwrap a packet of takeout, spicy stir-fried rice cakes. The smell fills the cab. Chili oil spills onto my jacket. The voice groaned.
Tell me you're not eating in the cab again.
His voice rose, half disgust, half exasperated. I bit into a rice cake with extra crunch, making sure he could hear it. Nights long. I need fuel. He groaned.
I cannot believe this is what passes for dignity in a Grim Reaper.
Not a Grim Reaper. I licked sauce from my thumb, grinning at the empty road ahead. Just the driver.
The dead would disagree.
His tone dropped, low and intimate.
You carry them, after all, right to the gates.
I coughed, shoving another bite into my mouth. Shut up and do your job. Keep me posted on the fares. And right on cue, the meter on the dash ticked once. Glowing faint blue. Assignment incoming.
First assignment coming in.
He announced, voice suddenly businesslike. The comm beeped with an address, glowing faintly on the dashboard.
Fresh one. You'll like this, they don't even know they're dead yet.
Great. I groaned. Leaning back in my seat muttering. Denial always makes for a fun ride.
Be nice.
He teased.
Ease them in. You're practically comforting when you're not chewing noodles in their faces.
He laughs, a warm velvet sound. Infuriating and addictive all at once. I steer into the night, green headlights cutting through the fog. And so begins another shift. The meter ticks. The comm hums. Somewhere out there, the newly dead wait for their ride. Yeah. I gunned the engine, the cab humming like something alive. Send me the pickup. A faint chime marks the address. As it burns into the meter. An intersection not far from here. I tighten my grip on the wheel. The familiar rush buzzes through me. The comm crackled again, softer this time. His voice dipped low. Intimate.
Drive safe, darling.
For a second, the banter slips. His words brush too close. like fingertips grazing the back of my neck. I clear my throat and shove another bite of rice cake into my mouth. Just keep the line open. His laugh follows me into the night. Spirit Driver, Chapter 3, The First Fair. The pickup spot is a half-lit intersection at the edge of town. The kind of place where buses never stop. And even strays avoid. My taxi rolls in quietly. Lantern headlights casting their sickly green glow across cracked pavement. At first glance, it looks empty. But I've learned to trust the meter more than my eyes. The fair is here. He appears in pieces, as most fresh ones do. First a faint shimmer. Then an outline in the flicker of a broken streetlight. A man in his 50s. In a business suit rumpled from too many late nights. His briefcase dangles from one hand, dragging against the ground like dead weight. He raises his arm stiffly, hailing me like any living customer. I sighed. Here we go. The calm crackled. The voice teased.
Be gentle. He's still shiny. Probably thinks he's late for work.
I'm always gentle. I swung the cab to the curb. You're the one who likes to watch me suffer. The voice from the calm said. That too. Before going quiet. The back door creaks open on its own. The man blinks, startled but obedient, and climbs in. He smells faintly of smoke. Not cigarette smoke, but something deeper, charred. I catch his reflection in the rearview mirror. Pale skin. Unfocused eyes. A faint scorch mark licking across his collar. Evening, I said, pulling into gear. He cleared his throat, as if rehearsing a meeting. Home. Maplewood Apartments. Please hurry. My wife worries if I'm late. I tap the meter. It glows blue. Destination locked. Not Maplewood. Somewhere else entirely. I almost feel bad. Almost. Good evening. My name's not important. You're dead. I'm your Reaper Uber. Your ride to the other side. That's my job. I drive departed souls to the threshold of the underworld. Think of me as your last chauffeur. No tips required, no refunds. What's happening? Are you drunk? I'm getting off, unlock the door. The ghost demanded. Listen, sir. I'm sorry to tell you this, but you're dead. It's hard to digest at first. But you might want to check your arm. I said. He glances down at his wrist, noticing for the first time his charred, translucent hands. His brows furrowed. This is not real. I kept my tone flat. It is. And the faster you accept it, the better. His eyes meet mine in the mirror. A flicker of fear. What do you mean? The calm crackled softly. The velvet voice murmured.
Here comes the fun part.
I ignored him. Listen. You're not going home tonight. Not the way you think. There was an accident. Fire in the office building. The man's grip tightened on his briefcase. No, I got out. I remember the alarm, the stairwell. You didn't make it down. He shook his head violently. No. I felt the cool air. I ran. Ran straight into the smoke. I said quietly. His chest heaves, though he doesn't need air anymore. The scorch mark spreads down his sleeve. Faint embers glowing. I keep one hand steady on the wheel. The other close to the wards carved into the dash. Denial's normal. Happens to most of you. But the sooner you accept it, the easier the ride. The man's voice cracked. I can't be dead. My daughter's recital, she's playing tonight. I promised her I'd be there. The car is silent except for the low hum of the engine. Promises don't hold up against fire. I muttered. The calm voice sighed dramatically. You're losing your bedside manner, darling. I gritted my teeth. Shut up. The man's eyes fill with tears that never quite fall. He slumps back, clutching the briefcase to his chest, like it can anchor him. The man stared out the window, his reflection fading. Is the afterlife going to be painful? No. I said honestly. Not if you go quietly. And if I don't? I glanced at him in the mirror. The scorch marks crawl higher, flames licking faintly. My wards pulse against the dash. Don't test me, I said flatly. He doesn't. Faster than expected, he whispers, voice small and resigned. Where are you taking me? I tap the glowing meter. The gates of the underworld. We drive in silence for a while. The city slips away. Street lamps dimming into fog. Buildings blur, bending into shapes that aren't entirely real. The closer we get, the less the world resembles anything human. At last the fog parts, and the gates loom. Two towering obsidian doors veined with silver light, pulsing gently like a heartbeat. Beyond them, nothing. The taxi rolls to a stop. The man stared, breath shallow. Is this the end of the line? I repeated. He clutched his briefcase tighter. Can I, at least see them? My wife. My daughter. I hesitate. Rules are rules. But ghosts like him always ask. And I try to reward my easy customers as much as I could. Look behind you, I said. He turns. The back window shimmers, peeling open like a curtain. On the other side, a living room glowing warm with lamplight. A young girl tuning a violin. A woman setting out dinner plates. Glancing at the door. Waiting for someone who will never arrive. The man presses his hand against the glass. His lips tremble. They'll be okay, I said, softer than I meant to. People always think they won't be. But they will. His tears finally fall, glowing, vanishing before they hit the seat. He nods once, and lets go of the briefcase. It fades from his lap like smoke. When he steps out, the obsidian gates open soundlessly. Light swallows him whole. The doors close with a hum. Silence returns. I exhale slowly, gripping the wheel tighter. The calm voice broke the silence.
You're too soft.
I scowled. Shut up.
You keep giving them little kindnesses, detours, windows back into life. One day it'll bite you.
Better me than them. He chuckled, low and amused. I threw the empty coffee cup back into the cup holder. You're insufferable. His tone warmed again, dangerously close to affectionate.
Maybe, but admit it, darling, you'd miss me if I left.
I don't answer. The meter ticks again. Another fare waits. Spirit Driver, Chapter 4, The Wish. The meter ticks once more. Its glow dimmer this time, pulling me toward a quiet neighborhood tucked behind the city. I recognize the street even before the cab slows, rows of identical houses. Cheerful by day, hollowed by night. The fare stands at the corner. She's young. Too young. A woman in her mid-20s, hair pulled back, still wearing hospital scrubs. Her sneakers are stained dark. Her ID badge melted at the edge. She hugs her arms tight around herself, eyes darting like she expects headlights from her own car to appear and take her home. When my taxi pulls up, she flinches, then steps closer. The back door opens by itself. She hesitates a heartbeat, then slides in. I glanced in the mirror. Evening. She tried to smile, but it wobbled. Can you take me to Willow Lane? My son's with the sitter. I promised him pancakes for breakfast. The meter glows blue. Same as always. My chest tightens. These are always the worst. The ghost of the women seemed to be in a hyperdrive. And cases like this could go either way. Best not to excite her into becoming a lingering ghost. Or worse, a vengeful one. Rough shift? I asked. I tried to sound casual. Pulling the cab into gear. Deciding to ease her into the whole ghost-uber conversation. She gave a humorless laugh. You could say that. Double shift. The ER was chaos. I was so tired I almost. She trailed off. Brow furrowing. Wait. I did almost fall asleep on the road. I say nothing. She stares at her hands. Losing focus. But I made it home. I think. Didn't I? The calm crackled softly. His voice slid in. Velvet smooth.
Careful. She's fragile.
I shot the speaker a glare. You think I don't know that? The woman blinked up at me in the mirror. What did you say? Not you. I muttered. Long story. Her eyes shimmer with sudden tears. She panics. Eyes darting around. Sensing the abnormalities subconsciously. Her breath should fog the glass. It doesn't. She freezes. Staring at her reflection. Pale. Translucent at the edges. Her badge clipped to her scrubs was half melted. Letters warped into nonsense. No. Her voice cracked. She tapped the window harder, desperate. Why can't I see my reflection? She whispered. My grip on the wheel tightened as the emotions in the cab crackled. Because you're not there anymore. She turns to me. Tears spilling fast. The moment our eyes meet. I knew she figured it out. I really am dead, aren't I? You are. I'm sorry. I say, trying to sound soothing, making sure not to make any sudden movements. I'm your Reaper Uber. Your ride to the other side. I drive departed souls to the threshold of the underworld. Please, just take me home. My little boy, he's only 5. He hates sleeping without me. I need to tuck him in. I really shouldn't. Please. I'll leave with you right after. She begged. I gripped the wheel tighter. Rules are clear, no detours. The gates don't like delays. But her face. God, her face. I sighed. Fine. One look. That's it. Her eyes widened. Really? Don't thank me yet. The cab turns. Tires humming over streets that shimmer and blur. Time folds in on itself. Pulling us not forward but sideways. We stop outside a small house. Yellow paint peeling. Front porch light flickering. The woman presses her hands to the glass. Through the window. A boy lies curled on the couch. Blanket slipping off. A sitter nearby scrolls her phone, oblivious. The woman's tears flowed freely now. That's him. That's my baby. She pressed her palms against the glass. Desperate. Whispering. Sweetheart. Mommy's right here. The boy doesn't move. The sitter shifts. Pulling the blanket back over him. Neither looks up. The woman banged the glass harder. Why can't they hear me? Her voice trembled, frantic. Driver, pull closer. I just need to open the door. Her voice trembled, frantic. The handle doesn't budge. Her hands slide through it like smoke. She gasps. Staring at her own fading fingers. No. No, this isn't real. Her voice cracked into anger. You're tricking me. This is some nightmare, some test. I kept my eyes on the wheel. It's not a trick. You didn't make it home. You're lying. Her sobs turned into raw fury. He needs me. I can't leave him alone. I promised him. The calm hissed alive. The velvet voice cut in, unusually sharp.
She's unraveling. Rein her in before she tears herself apart.
Shut up. I snapped, then turned in my seat. Look at me. I said firmly. I know it hurts. But you can't stay. If you try, you'll twist. You won't be his mother anymore. You'll be something else. Something ugly. And you won't even remember your kid. She freezes. Horror dawning on her face. Anger collapsing into shaking sobs. She looks one last time at her son. Then slumps back in the seat. I don't want to forget him. Ever. Her voice broke. And only then did she whisper. Take me. Her hand slid down the glass. Aching to touch him. I should have been more careful. He needs me. I forced myself to keep my tone even. He'll be okay. Kids, they're stronger than you think. She laughed softly through her tears. That's what I always said to my patients. Guess I should have believed it. The boy stirs, mumbling. Her smile breaks wide. For a moment, she looks alive again. Then the sitter pulls the blanket over him again. The boy sighs and settles. The woman presses her forehead to the glass, closing her eyes. Just for a moment. Then lifts her head with quiet strength. Okay. I'm ready. The taxi hums. Pulling away. The street melting back into fog. At the gates. She sits straighter. Smoothing her scrubs. Her tears gone. Calm now. She looked at me through the mirror. Thank you. For letting me see him. I nodded once. When she stepped out. The obsidian doors open. Silver veins glowing bright. Light reaches for her like arms. She smiles, a real smile. And walks forward without fear. The gates close. I slump against the steering wheel. Exhaling hard. No matter how long I work. This part never gets easier. The calm voice crackles in a teasing voice. Though it lacked its usual bite.
You're turning soft.
Shut up. The calm voice spoke gently, for once.
You'll get in trouble for that.
Add it to the list. My voice cracked more than I liked.
One day you'll regret breaking rules for them.
Maybe. I dug around for another takeout box, flipping it open. But not today.
She reminded you of someone.
I didn't answer. The voice hummed, low and amused.
You're fascinating, darling. You pretend you're cold, but you burn for them.
I shoved a dumpling in my mouth. Keep narrating my life. And I'll find a way to mute you. He laughs. Warm and infuriating. As the meter ticks again. Spirit Driver, Chapter 5, The Resentful Ghost. The next pickup is by the river. Because of course it is. In this line of work, you eventually learn that any ghost found near a body of water is never good news. The taxi rattles to a stop on the cracked embankment. Green headlights cutting across the black water. The air reeks of algae and rot. At first, I don't see him. Then the surface breaks. A pale head rising. Hair plastered across his face. He hauls himself onto the concrete. With a sickening wet slap. Water streams off him in sheets. Pooling in slick puddles at his feet. By the time he reaches the car, the stench of river mud fills the cab. The back door groaned open. He slid in without a word, soaking the leather in seconds. I clenched my jaw. Fantastic. I muttered. Just detailed this seat. The calm voice laughed, low and amused.
Oh darling, you sound like an Uber driver. Don't forget what you're chauffeuring.
I shot a glare at the speaker. Easy for you to say. You're not the one scrubbing ghost slime at dawn. The passenger smirks. Didn't know Grim Reapers came with leather seats. And a taxi meter. Occasionally, we come across ghosts that are aware of their passing. Those cases can go either way. Yeah. You're dead. I'm your Reaper escort. Pick you up, drop you off. That's the gig. You seem to already know the drill. The passenger snaps. I'm not going anywhere. Until she drowns like I did. The drowned man leans forward, dripping water down my shoulder. Take me back, he rasped. His voice gurgled like his lungs were still full. Back where? I asked flatly. To the bridge. To her. His fingers clawed into the leather. She pushed me. I want her to see. I sigh. This is going to be the hardest ride of the night. Ghosts who aware, especially the ones with thirst for revenge, are highly likely to turn into vengeful ghosts. And are the most dangerous kind. It's my job to make sure they are not left rampant in the living world. This particular one is a newborn, still hot with rage and thirst for revenge. The voice from the comm came out strained now, voicing my thoughts.
This is not good.
Yeah. Not how this works. His head jerked up, eyes flashing pale green. You don't understand. I can't leave like this. Not when she's still walking free. Plenty of people die unfair deaths. I said, keeping my tone calm. Doesn't change the rules. You come with me. Or you twist. His grin split unnaturally wide. Water poured from his mouth. Maybe I want to twist. Maybe I'll haunt her. Tear her life apart. Watch her drown every night until she begs me for air. The comm snapped alive, the velvet voice suddenly sharp.
Rein him in. Now.
Working on it. My hands tightened on the wheel. The voice from the comm spat out sharper than I have ever heard.
You're letting him get too close. Watch the wards.
I gritted my teeth. I'm a little busy drowning in my own backseat.
Focus. Damn it. You lose concentration for 1 second, and you'll be a passenger instead of the driver.
The ghost surges forward. Half through the partition. Water dripping down my collar. His voice turned guttural. You can't stop me. You're just a driver. I slammed the brake. The taxi screeches to a halt. The world outside freezing into fog. Wards light up across the dash. Glowing crimson. Restraints. I growled. Chains of pale light whip out from the seatbelts, binding his arms to his sides. He thrashes, snarling. Soaking the cab. You think chains will hold me? He roared, voice bubbling with river water. They hold everyone. I shot back. He lunges anyway. The leather splitting under his weight. My wards flare, hissing, as his wet form burns against them. The calm voice dropped low, dangerous now.
He's stronger. Must have been stewing in the water for hours before we got here.
Thanks for the pep talk. I wrestled the wheel. The whole taxi vibrating like it might shake apart. His voice cracked like a whip, unusually harsh.
Focus. You lose concentration for 1 second, and you'll be a passenger instead of the driver.
Yeah, thanks. I got the stakes memo. The ghost shrieks. Sound bubbling with river water. The cab fills with choking mist. A little help would be nice. You know I can't touch them. He said, though there was strain under the silk. That's your job. I'm a little busy drowning in my own backseat. I wrestled the wheel. My boots sloshing in water that rose to my ankles. The ghost shrieks again. Half river, half human. The windows rattle. The air thick with mist. Snarling, I yanked the emergency ward from the glove box. A steel talisman etched in fire. It burns white-hot in my palm. Sit. Down. I slam it into his chest. The drowned ghost convulses, shrieking as steam pouring from the wound. He slumps back, bound tight. The stink of scorched algae filling the cab. The chains flare bright, dragging him down, down through the soaked seat, pulling him straight to the gates of the underworld below. His form collapses into water, hissing away until only a hollow husk remains. Then even that vanishes. The cab goes still. The stench lingers. My seat's ruined. Again. I slump against the wheel, panting, hair plastered to my cheek. Silence follows. The water recedes, leaving a soaked, ruined backseat. And my pounding heart. I sit there, trembling, drenched to the bone. My streak is intact. Barely.
You all right?
Peachy. My voice was hoarse. Just reek of swamp and regret. His silence is heavy. Then his tone snapped back, sharp and angry.
You need to pay attention. You think your little luxuries will follow you if you twist? You'll end up rotting in the underworld, with the rest of them.
My glare shot to the speaker, wringing out my sleeve. Thanks for the reminder, I snapped.
You were pushing it. You know protocol says to obliterate ghosts immediately. Under those circumstances, not every soul has to be saved.
Don't start. I leaned my forehead against the wheel. I groaned, trying to control my breath. Dawn was close. My body ached from the fight. He bit out.
You almost lost to him. That's how streaks break. That's how drivers burn out. That's how they disappear.
My hand shook as I shoved wet hair out of my face. And what? You'd get a new Reaper to annoy? The line went silent for a long, heavy moment. Then, finally, his voice came back. Soft again, velvet smoothed over the cracks.
You know I'd miss you, darling.
I drag out a soggy takeout box from under the seat. Prying it open, I shoved a cold, damp dumpling into my mouth. Good enough.
You're disgusting,
he said, his silk voice back in full force. Yeah. I chewed deliberately loudly. Shut up and keep me company. Within a couple of minutes, the meter blinks again. Another fare waiting. I groaned. Not tonight. Can't handle any more fares tonight. That's tomorrow's problem. How far can a ghost run anyway? He chuckled low, warm again, like nothing had happened. The dawn was creeping up, painting the river pale.
You'd be surprised. Good night, spirit driver,
he murmured, almost gentle. I slurped a dumpling, steering toward the rising sun. Night. The taxi rolled on, lantern lights dimming as the city woke.